this meeting and let's officially get popping on this wonderful, wonderful morning, Monday morning. So you guys, whether or not you celebrate Easter, whether it was just an amazing Sunday for you, whatever the case was, I always like spending time with family. You start to realize things, obviously, when family's around, like grandma's a little bit older and her hip hurts and all this stuff. So it's just like you sit there and you just really reflect and you spend that time. And I didn't need to go anywhere. We made a breakfast brunch and had everyone here. Silas, we got ready for Easter egg hunt. We hit all the Easter eggs. We said, all right, Silas, it's time to go get Easter eggs. Let's go outside. He said, no, thanks, Dad. I'm like, wait, no. We hid all of the Easter eggs for you. He said, no, thanks, Dad. He didn't want nothing to do with it, but it was the cutest thing. He did his thing, and we had so much fun. And Silas never has candy, and so we let him indulge yesterday. So nonetheless, it was a wonderful, wonderful day. So Miss Roxanne Adams, Honey, hi, how are you? How's Cooper? Good to see you. Miss Honey, oh, there he is. This is my buddy. I'm going to have you bring us out on the field on a beautiful, beautiful Monday morning, because we always love to see your face, love to hear your voice. So Miss Roxanne Adams, let's go ahead and hit him, and let's go ahead and have you bring us out.
Oh my God, Elias, I just snuck on today. I didn't even know.
I saw you.
I'm in my robe, and Cooper's here.
Cooper.
He's sunbathing.
He is the best.
Oh, wow. We're relaxing this morning. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to bring us out on the field.
Just do your thing.
I gotta say good morning to everybody. It's Monday. I wanted to start my week off with you guys. I haven't been on here in a while, and I definitely miss it. So I was like, you know what? I'm starting off this Monday with the team, with the energy. Like, I need you guys. I love you guys. And I wanted to be here and show my face and let you guys know I'm here with you.
I love that. And I appreciate you guys being here, because at the end of the day, guys, this is far past me. This is far above me. This is far above Kenny. This is all about you guys. This is time to reflect, to get your mind right, to set new intentions, to be clear on what you guys are going to accomplish this week, and just move forward with a full head of steam. So I appreciate you, Roxanne, and thanks for being on. So let's go ahead and get started. If you guys are not driving, I'm going to have you guys write down some questions. This is a time for us to reflect, because I believe that it's important that we not only reflect when we're with our family, but when we look back at our week and just really get honest with ourselves, right? Because honesty in this business is really, really hard to face for a lot of people. What we do, and if we're just going to be transparent in this environment, sometimes we front. And I'm not meaning to call anybody out, and I'm not calling anybody out, but if those words resonate with you, then it's okay, right? Because sometimes we front, and that's why last week when I said reevaluating the relationship with self and reevaluating your word to yourself. Sometimes we front, sometimes we say we're going to do these things, sometimes we're going to say we're going to show up in a certain way, and then we don't for whatever reason. So if you guys know the author, Brandon Burchard, he wrote the Motivation Manifesto. Jim, I think you were reading one of his books the other day, the
High Performance Habits.
High Performance Habits, you guys. That is a really, really good read. It's also like a reference book. A lot of the reads that I read are reference books. You can literally go back. Let's take Atomic Habits. That's a reference book. Yeah, I read the whole entire thing, but it's a reference book. I look at winning. There we go, my man. I look at winning as a reference book. I look at Never Split the Difference as a reference book. So when I think about Brandon Burchard, when Brandon Burchard first came on the scene, this was probably 10, 11 years ago. I don't know to be exact. Well, he had wrote a book called The Motivation Manifesto, and I literally read that book over and over and over again. And in the subsequent years, he has produced many other great books, and one of them was The High Performance Habits. Well, if you buy the High Performance Habits, you can also buy the High Performance Journal. What happens, and I'm going to be honest with everybody, I write a lot, but sometimes I forget to go back into that journal and like really reflect and start writing. So I want to share some questions with you that I've picked up from someone's phone's ringing. Can we answer that? Thank you. That I've picked up from Brandon Burchard over the years. And so I'm going to share my screen with you guys in a second. That way you guys can kind of follow along with me. And if you are in a position to write. If you need to come back to this, then come back to this. But let's just go ahead and get right into this morning. And unlike myself, I never really bring up any type of slides. I felt like today I'm going to just do something a little bit different. So bear with me, you guys. All right. So this is a quote from Tim Grover. I'm going to have Otis. Otis, please read this quote out to your team, my brother.
Winning is an investment. It's the result of making selfish choices that empower your goals, separate you from limitations and insecurities, and create distance between.
Absolutely. So when you read that and you kind of process that information, man, what do you feel when you read that? Like, what does that make you think of? What does it make you feel?
Stay on our topic of what you're saying is, you know, you got to hold yourself accountable. Going back to what some of my other colleagues say about enjoying, I think it was Jeff, about celebrating the small wins.
Totally.
Separating, you know, what you're good at and what you're not good at. For instance, like a lot of people, video work, me, myself, is just constantly getting in my head and being down when something doesn't go right.
Yeah, dude, I love it. I love it, man. So let's do this. Let's get into some questions. And if you guys have the ability to do so, please write, because I'd love for you guys to share, even if it's a work in progress. All right. So let's just talk a little bit about reflections. And I'm constantly giving myself two things. I'm giving myself time to reflect and look at everything around me. I have tons of things to be grateful for. So during reflection time is that time for you to be grateful. So reflection is like the all-encompassing. I can reflect on you guys. I can reflect on my relationship with Kenny. I can, I can reflect on my relationship with my own family and how things are going, my relationship with my daughter, like all these things. So I spend a lot of time reflecting, and also reflect on our business at a very, very high level. What can I be doing? What are we going to learn? I'm looking forward to going to this mastermind this week. I'm speaking at this mastermind, but that's not as important for what I'm going to learn from this mastermind this week when we're in Arizona. So let's go through this, you guys, and feel free to just take some notes, do some screenshots, share this on social, get other people involved. It's all good, you guys. That's why I wanted to put this on, so you have things to talk about on social today. Let's all tag Brandon Burchard. Maybe he reposts this, whatever, okay? So 3 great things that happened to me last week were, and it's time to really look at it and be like, damn, okay, well, I made an appointment, right? I made 4 appointments. I got that listing for $2.1 million. I got that buyer's consultation scheduled, and I went and showed 4 houses, whatever the case is, right? There's tons of things for you guys to really, really reflect on and be stoked about that were great last week. So let's start there. 3 great things that happened to me last week were. All right, now let's go a little bit deeper on this, right? The main struggle I faced this last week. What was the main struggle that I faced? Remember, maybe it was time management. Maybe it was waking up earlier. Maybe it was belief in self. I don't know what it is, but right. Because I feel like something happens from here to the paper. Some truth comes out. Some truth comes out because you start flowing, you start writing, you start getting things out. If I was coaching or mentoring someone with similar challenges, I'd advise them to what? Sometimes we give really, really good advice, right? Sometimes you're sitting with a friend or a family member and you're just spitting some fucking amazing advice. But sometimes you're not even listening to your own advice. I've heard that before, like relationship advice. Wait a minute, then why aren't you doing that in your own relationship? Hold up a second, right? Like I've heard this before. So if you were coaching or mentoring yourself, if you were me giving yourself some advice, what would you say? If you were sitting across the room from yourself, what would you say? Or if you were mentoring or coaching someone else with a similar challenge, what would be the words and how would you coach or mentor that person? Last week, 2 things that I learned about myself this past week were, right? Well, I learned that I am great explaining an appraisal contingency. I am great at building relationships with the with the selling agent. I am great at negotiating for repairs. I am great when it comes to filling out the RPA in less than 20 minutes and not making any errors. I am great at setting the expectations. So what are some things that I learned about myself last week? Like really reflect on that. All right, so let's keep on reflecting. Let's keep going a couple layers deeper. And if you need me to slow down, cool, but make sure you're doing screenshots of this. 2 things that I learned about the market last week. Now, if you attended group coaching on Wednesday, If you didn't do any reading, you still have the market updates. There's tons of things that we could learn because there's patterns, there's things that are happening. There's always going to be shifts. So it's important that you guys are keeping up to speed on what's going on in the market. Two things that I learned about the team, right? What are some things I learned about the team? I didn't know that Otis had this long-standing history. I didn't know that Jim was going to a career fair up in, March Airfield Base. I didn't know Amanda was doing this amazing, Easter event in her community because she was sick and tired of seeing signs go up in her community. And it kind of said, wait a minute, that should be me. I'm the community person, right? What are some things you learned about your team? And two things that I learned about my consumer. I tell you what, you guys, we make decisions based on how things feel. We make decisions based on emotion. It's easy to think that's logical, right? But people make decisions on how they feel. So was there something emotional that you learned about your client? Was there a level that you got to with your client? Did you find out that the real reason why they wanted to buy a home is because when they were 13 years old, their mom lost their home and they ended up living on the streets and had to live in hotels and motels and garage floors and wherever else they could to get by? That's my story, you guys. So was I able to learn something about my consumer that I never learned before to kind of open my eyes and how I can better serve them? One decision I could have made last week to make my life better or move ahead faster in my business would have been. And here's the thing, you guys, probably one of my favorite questions in all these sequence of questions, because one decision I could have made last week to make my life better or move ahead faster in my business would have been, right? And listen, I could have made 10 calls a day. I could have had 50 conversations a day. I could have done this. I could have followed up with those clients. I could have answered that phone quicker, right? Whatever it is, you guys, one decision that could have made my life better, my business better. And then the last one, you guys, this one's going to take a journey within, and it's okay because that's the premise of this conversation today. Because it wouldn't be mindset, motivation, and intention on a Monday morning coaching if we didn't get a little deep sometimes. What have you been talking about doing or changing that you have not taken action on? What's holding you back, and what support do you need from me, from your fellow team members, from the leadership team? Like, what is that? What have you been talking about doing or changing that you have not taken action on? What's holding you back? What support do you need? Right? Think about this. Man, I've been wanting to work out. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna work out. I got busy. I didn't work out, right? It's like there's so many things that we say. I know I'm gonna prospect today, right? Or I know I'm gonna get my farm taken care of. I'm gonna make video today, right? But then something stands in the way of you actually taking action. I asked Rakitha a couple of weeks ago, what are some things that I've said to her? She said, you've always talked to me about taking massive action, right? So when you think about this question, what have you been talking about doing or changing that you have not taken action on, and what's holding you back? I think more importantly, if we were to go a layer deeper on that, why? Right? What's standing in your way? Right? Like there's just an ability sometimes for you just to say, I am going to do this. And even if it doesn't hit right now, at least I could tell myself that I did that. So I wanted to spend a couple minutes with you, and I wanted to share that with you guys. And I wanted to think, and I wanted you guys to start just getting your mind flowing on this Monday morning. I've been doing a lot of reading lately, and so my cup is really, really filled with all kinds of thoughts and ideas, but this isn't about me, guys. This is totally about you. And so having those questions on the surface, maybe you jotted down some notes. Maybe you instantly, as you saw it, you're like, oh shit, okay, cool. And you were able to start flowing. Does anybody have anything, one of the questions, all of the questions, any thoughts, any dialogue, anything that they want to share with the group right now? And to be totally transparent, to be totally open. I saw you guys writing, saw you guys doing some things. So who wants to kick this off this morning and share with me? Damian, I appreciate that, because one person goes, multiple people start going. So Mr. Bledsoe, hopefully you guys had a wonderful, wonderful Easter. Good to see you, my man. What's up, man? Let's hear it.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. That's a lot of questions. So it's definitely got my wheels turning. On the first one, you asked about what were the 3 things that you accomplished this week. You know, lately I haven't been on as much, but every time I get on, I've been telling you guys how I've had this slow start. Well, I stopped having this slow start, got my clients in the contract on Saturday, and that was a big win because they just got an offer denied on Friday. We went to go see another house Friday evening. I got the agent to look at a preemptive offer after 4 days on the market, and we got it accepted. So that was cool.
Woo,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Additionally, I had a meeting Friday night with an employee, well, the lawyer for the Golden State Warriors, and I got like a really good opportunity coming up that'll help my business out a lot. So working on your business has been a weakness of mine, and that was a really good that was a really big win.
Dude, I can see it in your physiology. Like when you spoke last week, you could tell there's a little bit of worry, and that's okay, man. You shift that worry and you turn it around into something positive and take action, bro. So I see it on your face, man. So now it's just like, okay, cool, momentum. I love this relationship. I cannot wait to hear more about what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I can tell you a little more offline because I can't. Yeah,
bro. I'm excited for you, and I'm excited for what's ahead.
Yeah, and then I did have a third thing, but aside from that, what I did want to talk about was a win. Did I lose you?
No, we're here, bro. We're
okay.
We're listening.
Yeah, no, in terms of that offer again, though, just to take it back to the business side of things, I learned about myself that I am persistent and that I don't give myself enough credit for how positive I am in situations. Like, and I think that's what my clients value in me. I don't get involved in the pity parties, and I don't even allow my clients to soak. I'm like, okay, we lost this one. That's education. Let's figure out the next move so that we can stay at this. I don't give them enough time to start thinking that they need to look for another place to rent or anything like that. And so this transaction, this experience helped me to realize again that my value in my clients' lives and in their transaction is just, again, my persistence and my positivity. Like I don't give room for that negativity to come in or the doubt or anything. I encourage people. Like I try to inspire my clients, and I keep pushing them until we get across the finish line. So yeah.
I love it. You know, I'm going to add another P there because you said 2 Ps, but like poise, right? Whenever I talk to you, whenever you communicate, you just have the sense of poise about you, and that puts people at ease, right? If you panic, they're going to panic, and they're going to feel your emotions. Oh my God, what do we do? I don't know. Let's do like you have this sense of poise about you, bro, and it carries over in your relationship with your consumers and people around you, man. So really, really good job. Appreciate you sharing. Ernesto, you typed some stuff. I didn't have a chance to read that, bro. Was that you that typed all that? Of course it is, one man. He loves to write. So instead of me reading that, bro, I'm gonna have you just share. So Ernesto, please take yourself off of mute, bro, and let's hear from you.
Yeah, before I begin, I want to just quickly introduce my guest. This is Alex. Alex is from Latitude High School in East Oakland. I've been matched up with him to be his mentor for the next 3 weeks. He'll be with me Monday through Thursday. So if you see him in the Oakland office, please be kind. Alex has expressed an interest in wanting to learn all things real estate, and I've raised my hand to hopefully give him some guidance.
Yes, powerful. What's up, big dog? How are you, my man?
Hello, I am good this morning.
Good, brother.
Tired, but I'm willing to learn.
Well, bro, thank you for being here, because at 17, man, I was on the streets, bro. So good to have you here in a positive setting. So Ernesto, let's hear from you, man, and welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, for my 3 great things that happened last week. I mean, I responded to all of your questions. I thought that was the goal, but I mean, I'll just go through the first. And the 3 great things that happened last week: 1, just spending some quality time with my mom. 2, my mom and my girlfriend's mom met for the first time. We had an amazing 2 days in San Francisco. Yes. And lastly,
hold on a second. Where were you at when you were like in this massage chair and you had all these plants around you? I think I commented. Where was that?
It's called Sen Spa. Starts with an S. Sen Spa in the Presidio in San Francisco. And that was my third great thing, just putting yourself in a situation where you have to block out the world and you can't be near your phone. And you just for like 3 hours, tune the world out and just relax and meditate. So that chair, you kind of lay back in it. It's just a super comfy position. They put a blanket over you. This light dome comes over you. It's not like close to your face or anything. And then you're listening to a guided meditation for like 30 minutes. You just like, it's incredibly stress relieving. They had this like aromatherapy steam room. So it's like a spa at the gym, but it's like super, it's a ton of vapor and it just smells like eucalyptus and lavender. It was great. I highly recommend it.
Yes, brother. Yes, man. Well, I appreciate that. And I'm so happy for you and your lady that your parents, man, take it, they got along greatly.
They did. We had a great time.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Awesome. All right, guys, who else has some things that they've jotted down? Who else wants to grab the mic and listen? Don't be shy. If you don't have anything, I'll probably just give you. All right, so I have a couple people raising their hands. Do me a favor, because I can't see all of your faces. Just give me a reaction with the reaction below. I'm going to go to Maria first, then I'm going to go to Amanda, and then I'll go to Jim. So Maria, let's hear it.
Well, my three things would be I closed my highest sale. It closed last week. Thank you, Jesus. Yes.
All right. So for the people in the back of the room that don't know, how large was the sale? How long did you work with the client?
$1,170,000. Yes, baby. And that's like 4 houses in Sacramento. So come on now.
That's right. Good job. Good job.
It was awesome. Aside from that, I spent an hour on the phone with my son. My son is 33 and we talk 10 minutes max, but he's going through some things. And one of the things that I've been able to bless him with is all of my knowledge of positivity. So, you know, I would put down here all the years of me reading and motivating and meditating. I'm now able to share that with him. So an hour phone call it blessed my soul. It really blessed my soul. And the final thing was my mom's anniversary of her passing was Wednesday. She had been gone 12 years. I unplugged my phone. I ate fried chicken and I drank a beer in her honor. And I took the day off. Besides group coaching, I was here, but I took the day off and reflected. And I just wrote all the things I'm grateful for since her passing. Like because of her passing, I've met all of you. I would have never got into real estate. Because of her passing, I'm able to travel the world and share the gospel. Because of her passing, she gave me a legacy of being a strong, badass woman. You know, it was an amazing week last week.
You know what else she gave you?
What?
She gave you tremendous genes. All right. So Maria just said she has a 33-year-old son. Mama passed you down some amazing genes. All right. So thank you for sharing. Thanks for the vulnerability. I appreciate that. And, let's go back to one of the questions about the challenges. When you're facing any challenges, if you were mentoring someone right now or coaching them to really kind of get out of that funk or get out of their head, like, what do you say to that person? What do you do? It's a question for you, Maria. She's shaking her head.
Okay. So if I were mentoring someone, I would say plug in, right? Because I think when we are alone in our own thoughts and we're sitting there and we're like, we suck, we can't, whatever. The negative talk that goes on in between our ears. It's a dangerous place. I mean, that's why Joyce Myers wrote a book called The Battlefield of the Mind. It's truly because within our mind, the enemy talks. And sadly, we have a choice. We could either listen to what he says or we could not listen, but we have to actually make a choice. So plug into group coaching. That's key. Have a friend that's going to be like, you need to get the hell out of your brain, dude or woman or whoever, but get out of your stinking thinking. And also, what are you listening to, watching on TV, reading? Like, you will rarely see me watching like a scary movie. Like that's just not my thing. I don't do violence. I don't do all that. But I have audiobooks. I just listened to a YouTube video before getting on here, 5 minutes of affirmations
Love
while
this.
I'm sitting, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are you playing? Now, mind you, I've been listening to, I started off with Tony Robbins back in the day when it was Awaken the Giant Within. And that book was like this freaking thick. When there was no talk about self-motivation, people are like, what the hell is that? What are you reading?
Right.
It
I love it.
starts when
Yeah.
you're in
I
your-
absolutely love it. And I really appreciate when you get on the mic and just bring the high levels of emotion, because I think it's powerful. Amanda, let's go to you, and then we'll go to you, Jim, and then we'll go to you, Quan. Amanda, you had your hand up. So let's hear. You had an amazing weekend plan. I'm sure there's a lot of things to share. So let's hear from you.
Yes, I really have an amazing week, Elias and team. Yesterday, I attended 4 events. The first one being my own egg hunt in the community. There are 33 kids that show up and 20 parents. This is the first time I haven't been seeing so many happy faces in my neighborhood since the pandemic. So I'm really proud to do that. And they recognize me as a community leader. And I really want to inspire more neighbors in the neighborhood to do the same. So we are planning a Mother's Day photo shoot and tea with mom event. This is coming up in the second Sunday of May. And I think we really inspire a lot of people in the neighborhood. And the second thing is I start using Sisu since Friday. So this is a big win for me. And I really love tracking my activities before I go to bed every day, every night. And so that's another big win for me. And the thing I learned about, the most important thing I learned about the most is I attended a Teresa Kang. She's running for California State Assembly. And I sit with their campaign manager. What he told me is, the secret of her being so productive is schedule everything in 30 minutes time slot, nothing more than 30 minutes. And when I look at Kenny's Canada, it's the same. Elias Canada is the same. So I was trying to spend a lot of time talking to seller for hours and hours. And I find that after that, I usually cannot close that seller because I'm spending too much time and I'm forgetting other sellers that is in the pipeline. So from now on, I would learn from that politician, schedule my calendar in 30 minutes time.
Wow. Powerful, powerful. And, you know, the fact that you just said that, you know, I sometimes don't get those listings because why? If I'm spending an hour and a half, 2 hours with the seller, and maybe it's our first initial call or maybe our second call, if I'm given too much, what are they going to say? Well, what we need to do is we need to think about this, right? We understand that sometimes they're going to be shopping, but when you give too much, they have to dissect all that information and think. And so it's like high level bullet points. Did you make sure they understand that? Move to the next. So Amanda, so just so you guys know, Amanda's goal this year is to do 50 million. She did 40 million last year. And so she's making minor adjustments so she can get better. So I absolutely love that, Amanda. And congratulations on an amazing event. And I'm looking forward to seeing the mothers and tea. Like, I think that's a really cute idea. So good stuff. Jim, let's go to you, big dog.
Yeah, so main struggles, I'll hit that topic there. I think we all, you know, face our own struggles and our self-doubt. And I think the solution to that is experience. Get out there and, you know, have alligator hide and get out there and just do it. And once you do it, once you have that experience, then you have less doubt. And then you get more confidence as you continue to do it. So that's my struggle from last week is I just got to be consistent with open houses. So I've been doing open houses every week and it just feels natural now.
Good, man. I love that. Because I promise you, and thanks for sharing that, because when you first start doing open houses, if you've never done an open house, it's a little awkward at first, right? People, we're just going to look around. And you got those attitudes and those people like, hold on a second, you're in my house. I'm going to give you guys the grand tour. And like you own that as the moment someone walks in. So Jim, I love that because we talk about this a lot and we learned this from John Cheplack. It's like the experience, right? The action, right? The action trumps everything, right? Because the action is going to give you the experience. The experience is then going to give you the feedback. The feedback is going to tell you what are the necessary skill sets that I need to work on. Well, I need to get really good on my intro because every single time I say hi to somebody, they always shoot me down. Every single time I go on a listening appointment, they're telling me I need to think about it. So it's just like The doing, I love that you said that, man. It's going to give you the necessary feedback that you need in order to tell you what skill sets that you need to improve upon. So Jim, love it, man. Kwanzo, let's go over to you, big dog. Are you already in the office? Is that where you're at? Or is that
Yeah,
home?
I'm in the office. Yeah.
Cool, man. I'll see you in a little bit. What's
Yeah,
up?
back in the
Let's hear from you.
environment. Love it. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's ready to crush it this week. So I was going to talk about the celebrations, but I think I'll skip that and go right into the struggles as well. I think for me last week, I missed 2 days of my workout on Wednesday and Friday. And I at first I was beating myself up, and then I got back on the bike this morning and I felt really good. And one thing I realized is that now my physiology and my body have shifted to where if I don't work out, then I feel awkward. Whereas before it was like working out was the awkward and uncomfortable part. Number one. Number two, I've been really thinking about why did I not work out or do my bike ride on Wednesday and Friday? And for me, what I realized is that I actually went back to some of my old Tony Robbins, my coaching notes. And, one thing Tony Robbins always talk about is like everyone has 6 human needs, right? We have the need for certainty, uncertainty, significance, love, then growth and contribution. And for me, uncertainty is important. I need variety. If I do the same thing over and over again, I'm gonna be bored. And I think that's exactly what happens. So I'm like, all right, so getting up 5 is not a problem, but getting up at 5 and even doing different type of rides, that becomes kind of mundane for me. So I'm like, if I'm gonna set myself up for success, I gotta understand how I function and really kind of work off of that. So I'm starting to devise different things I can do to kind of keep myself excited about that process. So I think that was something I learned. And also I'm learning to not critique myself as much or beat myself up versus really be curious on why I did these things and then figure out the solution or a version of a solution.
Man, Quan, I appreciate you saying that. And I appreciate you talking about variety, because I think that's one of my human needs as well. So when you look at this pattern here, okay, see all the twists and turns, and this was my walk yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. So in our walks, I never take the same route. Oh, let's go left here. Let's go right here. Let's go there. I never take and the same with running. I never like to take the same route. That's why, man, at the gym, I can hit maybe 3 miles on the treadmill, but then I'm bored. Right. I'm bored, man. So I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate you sharing. All right, guys, let's keep going. Let's, who else wants to go next? I know we have so many people on the call today. Who else wants to share any notes that they wrote down? And if you don't have anything, that's cool. But does anybody have the kind of the loose foundation of anything that we spoke about? Any of the questions? Anybody want to go? All right. Oh, Zaira. Oh, she came back into the frame for this. Okay. All right. We'll go to Zaira next, and we'll go to Gurpreet second. So Zaira, let's hear it. And Zaira, to you, to Danielle, I don't know if it was George. I just saw a couple people's birthday. There's so many of you guys, but happy birthday to everybody.
Thank you.
So let's hear from you.
It's Aries season. Just kidding.
Right.
So 3 things. I've closed on my first deal officially Friday, and we handed out the keys Saturday. Thank you. Woo! It was amazing. That feeling of handing over the keys. I'm like, wait, I'm really not going to see these people for a while, but what I learned from that was that the 2 clients that I've had, they're like, can you please still see us? I'm going to miss you so much. And it makes me feel so good that, Priscilla's mom, that's my client. She was like, you live 10 minutes away from here. Let's go grab matcha. And I'm like, yes, let's do it. So it's just those relationships, the connection is amazing. I also lost my train of thought. I know something else happened. Hold on. I didn't write this down because I was driving. Okay, but the second one, the second one was I went skydiving for my birthday on Friday. And the message, so leading up to it, I was super scared. I was like, do I really want to do this? What have I done? Obvious, Zaira goes in Google and sees how many people have died there. And it's the worst thing you could do. But what I got from it was everything comes with fear. And there's something on the other side that's so amazing and so beautiful to witness and feel that once you do that, take that leap, take that jump, you'll experience all the beautiful stuff that fear was holding you back from. So yeah.
So we obviously we talked about the emotion and the fear. Like, what is that like once you jump? Then once the chute goes out, and then once you finally land, like, what is that like? What do you go through? I've never done it. I've done some crazy ass shit, but I've never done that.
So on the plane, going up the plane, I was fine. The only thing that scared me was the normal is 13,000 feet and we did 22,000. So you need oxygen after a certain amount because your brain starts not receiving that oxygen. And you have a couple seconds before you jump off the plane to take the mask off, the oxygen mask off, and jump off. And by the time your brain realizes that you're not receiving that oxygen, you're already at that level where you are receiving oxygen. So that was scary. But when I jumped off, I did not feel scared. Like I was like, here we go, 26, like, let's go, let's do this. So it just felt more empowering than scary. Yeah, so.
How cool.
But I think everyone has to do it. Like everyone on this call, everyone in general has to experience that at least once in their lifetime. It's amazing.
I love it. I love it.
I'll go with you guys.
Let's go back to your earlier comment, and it kind of takes me back to like someone like Roxanne, someone like Christina, and I could go on, but I'm just going to pick out two names. Like, hey, we want to hang out with you. It's because of the relationships that you've built with these people, right? And like really focus on that, because people don't really care all that it's how you made them feel and how you showed up for them. They're going to remember that for a very long time. So like build on those relationships and always make that the cornerstone of your business. So really good stuff. Happy birthday. Glad that you faced your fears. And
one more thing real quick. So I actually had, I was at the gym this morning, and I'm pretty much always smiling, especially at the gym, because that's like my happy place. And this guy I've never spoken to, but I've always smiled to, or just walked across him. He comes up to me and he was like, I really appreciate your positive energy every morning. He was like, you're always smiling. Please don't ever stop doing that. And that was like, wow, like people notice that. And
yeah,
it truly is amazing.
I love that. If someone has the breakdown of communication, right? The percentage of nonverbal, I don't know the math right off the top of my head because I'm flowing, but there's a breakdown of like communication and what percentage of that is nonverbal. So good stuff, Syra. You do have this energy that people feel. So let's go over to Gurpreet. Yo.
I don't cut you off. I'm gonna tap in real quick.
Yo.
Hold on, I'll put my camera on. Oh, I wanted to touch on the same things Iris had said. When you handed over the keys, you were like kind of sad, like you felt like it was like the end, right? But the truth is like, that's the beginning. That's like, oh my gosh, you give them the keys, the stress is done, like the fun starts. And this person is the beginning to the lifeline of your business. Like that. Like now they go in your database, you get to call them on their birthday, you get to invite them out for coffee, you get to keep them updated on the market. Do they have anybody that wants to buy or sell? Like this is the beginning, not the end, girl.
I love it. I love it. And
I love that.
Hence why she came to mind, right? That's just literally how she's built her business. So love that. Gurpreet wanted to contribute. So Gurpreet, let's go over to you. And then George will come over to you. And I think I see Juan's hand is up as well. So Gurpreet, let's hear from you.
Good morning, everybody. So I wanted to hop on here and share my wins, obviously, like everybody else. One of my biggest wins, I will say, is 2 weeks ago, I sat down and wrote down all of my limiting beliefs. Don't we all have them? We all have limiting beliefs, right? So when we're feeling frustrated or overwhelmed, I realized we need to do a brain dump, right? What the hell is going on in our heads? So put it on paper. And I took one limiting belief from that. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna work on this. And one was, actually there was two. So first I started kicking my butt to have a morning routine and actually follow it. So being at all 3 of the coaching calls last week was my huge win. So, and even though it may not be big for many of us, right? For me, it's huge because it forces me to get up and be ready and show up in a big way, in a different way, to be able to get my day started in the right direction. So that was number 1. And number 2 was realizing why I always felt this emotional roller coaster ride in my business. It was because in my business, I'm very passionate about helping every client that comes my way. So I would always want to meet them whenever they called me or whenever they, text me and text them right away, et cetera, et cetera. And I would deviate away from that task in that moment. So what I realized was, okay, Gurpreet, you've got to stop doing this, because I was not protecting my energy. I was allowing people to pull me in every direction, causing me to not be able to, complete what I started in that moment. So in a nutshell, I learned how I started setting boundaries, right, to protect that energy. Number 3, and of course, I said this last week too, we know what we're supposed to be doing, but there's something that holds us back from executing. So I'm guilty of that too. So I had to realize, what is that's been stopping me, and how can I change that? So pick one thing and master it, right? So I've always known how important it is to have a repeat referral-based business, is to stay on top of mind. And it's not always about just a phone call or a text message. Have a face-to-face interaction with your clients. So don't always make it about business. Meet them for a coffee, meet them for a quick dinner, whatever, right? So last week, I told myself one client per week, my past client, I'm either gonna go meet them for lunch or have coffee. So I met this one client that I sold her a house last week, and we've been wanting to meet forever. We finally did it. And what came out of that was just pure joy and a connection, which we all need to have with all of our clients, especially if you want to build a business on relationship and trust. That's my 3 wins.
I love it. Really, really powerful. I love it. And, thanks for being vulnerable and saying, hey, we all have limiting beliefs, and like, we're going to face it, or I'm going to face it. So great stuff. George, let's go to you, big dog.
Sweet. Good morning, everyone. So I was writing down, so today I was finally not driving. So 3 great things that happened to me this week is that I did over 5 buyer showings, which is awesome, because before I was kind of doing about 1 a week. So I pushed myself. I had some buyers this past week that were kind of like slow inching it, and I took the initiative, went on the MLS, found properties that I thought would suit them, sent them to them. I was actually able to make an offer on the spot for one of them. My buyers ended up being in the open house. I actually drove all the way to Elk Grove last week, put a whole house tour together of like 7 homes. By the time we got to the 4th home, they were like, you know what, George, we thought about it in the car on the way here. We like the other home the best. I've actually never written an offer on the spot like that. So we ended up leaving the house, and I told them, I was like, yeah, well, offers are due within the next 45 minutes. So we went to what's it called, to Starbucks. Their baby was sleeping, so we were trying to do it in the car off of the hotspot. The hotspots weren't working because we found out Verizon doesn't work too well in Elk Grove. So they woke up the baby. We went into Starbucks. First time I've ever had not only written an offer in such a short amount of time, but also had the clients right across from me. We're also calling the lender, seeing any last minute strategies we can do to craft the offer. Unfortunately, didn't get accepted, but we're doing more house tours this Wednesday. And then I actually got finally one of my leads to contact me yesterday on Easter for my first listing appointment this upcoming Friday. So I'm definitely excited for that. And then I would say my main struggle that I faced last week is I've been working with Eric on doing more time management and time blocking. So as best as I tried to stick with that last week, I realized as my business has been picking up more, I've kind of been falling a little bit off of my calendar. So kind of diverting back to getting better with my time management, planning out my time more efficiently.
And you know, man, it's something that a lot of us struggle with. A good practice is to have some rotating flex time within your calendar, meaning that, like, for example, I needed to, you know, do an offer on the spot. I had to go find a Starbucks. Baby had to get out of the car. We had to go inside. I might have had something planned for that. So if I have some rotating flex time throughout my week and be like, okay, hey, the things that I was not able to accomplish yesterday because I had a fire or I had something I had to do, you know, that was urgent, then I can make that up in my flex time the next day, man. But love hearing all the progress, love hearing the momentum that you are having right now. 5 buyer showings, I love that. And so let's game plan this week. If you need any help prepping for your listing, also get together with Rebecca to get you all of your assets that you need to prep for the meeting. Good stuff. So we had somebody else raise their hand. It was a 408 number, but now they're off the screen. So let's go over to Juan. Juan, you had your hand up for a minute, bro. All right, cool. We will keep cruising on. Anybody else have any thoughts? Any other people want to chime in? Was that Chris with the finger up, bro? I don't know, man. Okay, cool. We'll keep cruising on. Is that you?
Hey, what's up, guys? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, it's a little muffled, but we can hear you, bro.
A little muffled. Okay, just want to talk about some wins. I've been following up on. Let me just pull over real quick. I'm going to one of my boys with trainer to do a hit workout this morning because I've been slipping on my workouts after I got done with 75 hard. I kind of took a little hiatus. I'm like, I need to get back on it. But just talk about some wins I've been following on. I've been holding a lot of open houses every weekend and been following up on open house leads and people that call in on my listings. And just the main thing about relationships. A lot of times when you first connect with people, until they know, everybody's trying to pitch and be salesy, but until they know where you're coming from your heart, they won't really open up to you. So pretty much, I just been calling, connecting, text conversations, getting a feel for what these leads are looking for. And I connected with a lead from selling a house in Alameda. So I met with her to show homes, $1.5 to $1.7 million properties here in Sacramento. And we found a perfect home, and I put in an offer for $1.65 million with the listing agent, $1.2 million down, seller financed. The listing agent at first wasn't hip to looking at a seller finance deal. But I had to overcome the objections and let them know that there's going to be a balloon payment. You're going to get paid in 6 months. They're going to make 5% interest, and they're going to get $1.2 million up front. And it's a 14-day close. So I had her relay that, secured by a note on the house on first listen. So I just had to relay the listing agent to the benefits and how it's secured, and they're going to get their $450,000 in 6 months or less when this client sells the Alameda listing, which I'm still trying to get that listing. But anyways, just connecting with open house leads, following up calls, letting them see that you're really truly trying to help and try to set them up. And what's the exciting thing she told me, she's some Chinese clients from the Bay. She was like, if you get me my dream house, Chris, I'm gonna send 7 family members to relocate to Sacramento with you. So I'm like, right on, let's go. Just everybody just keep trucking and also holding consistent open houses on all of me and Will's listings. I want to shout out Walter Johnson, who's been steadily manning open houses. Renee Robinson on the team. I know, you're putting a lot of hours up front without getting paid, but you're doing the right thing. We all started there. Let's get it. And just wanted to say, just connect with everybody. Truly connect in a genuine manner, and just focus on a relationship. Whether it's the listing agent, whether it's your leads, just connect and just make it happen. Educate and come from an educator. Come as an educator, not a salesman. But just educate them, let them know what you're doing. So I had a few wins as far as my losses is my time management thing. I'm always running around bringing my son to football training, track training, taking care of my agents, going to appointments. So I need to buckle down and get more disciplined about setting that time blocking to work on the little back end stuff and to do more prospecting. Other than that, man, I wish everybody a great week. Happy Monday. Let's go.
I love this. I love this. Here's the thing, you guys, like, you know, first off, that was a really, really astute way to structure a deal, and the way that you educated the other side in order to convey that message to the you know, sellers. Really, really creative, but love what you're doing. And here's the thing, guys, Chris has been in the game for a long time. Does he necessarily have to host his open houses? No, but he's getting back to some of the basics that are working for him, and he's putting other people on. You know, I keep on going back to Zyra when she's jumping out of the plane. It's like sometimes you just have to jump, and then before she knew it, she was able to catch her breath, because at 20,000 you needed oxygen. But it's kind of like, well, I need to make these calls, and sooner or later you make enough. It's like, oh, I caught traction. They said yes, right? It's just like she caught her breath, and like before she knew it. So it's like you have to think like, man, sometimes you do just really have to metaphorically just take that lead and just like, I'm gonna catch on. Something's gonna give, right? And I love this conversation. Let's go to one other person, and then we'll wrap up. Let's go to Nicole, and then we'll come full circle.
I was going to say my wins for this past week, I pushed myself to get out of my shell. I have, as I've mentioned before, anxiety, and I tend to hide behind my mantra. But this past week, I got out and did a seminar at the library and did the Easter egg hunt, as well as a cleanup event. And it led to a lot of conversations with people in the neighborhood. It's funny because at the beginning of the week, when I looked at my calendar, I was like, fuck, what did I do? But it was nerve. But each day I was like, okay, you got through this one, you know, next event. You got through this one, next event. And I met a lot of neighbors and made a lot of good connections. So
I love this. I love this. And these are things that obviously, you know, like purpose driven, mission driven, like there's nothing stopping us. So let's do this, you guys. Let's hear from a couple of people for their key takeaways. Let's go to Cam for a key takeaway. Cam, good to see you. Let's hear, and then we'll go over to Donna. So Cam, key takeaways from today's session.
I really loved the reference that Zyra made about when she was jumping out and having fear. Yeah. Main reason is just with everything in life, you're either going to go with fear, or you're going to go with love. And when you go with fear, there's some obstacle you got to, you know, jump over. And I've been skydiving like 4 times, and I know the exact feeling when you're jumping out the plane and it's like, my stomach's going to drop. Am I going to make it? Is the chute going to pull? Whatever. But you have to make that jump to see what's on the other side. And so with that, I want to apply that to everything that I do in everyday life, how I interact with people, you know, changing things in my overall routine. And you know, because I have this fear of, well, it's going to be different than what I've been doing, but it's necessary. So
I love that. Absolutely.
I love that. So
good stuff, Cam. Donna, you had your hand up. Let's go to you. Donna, is that new? The setup in the behind you?
My mirror stuff. It's virtual background, but I'm
like, that looks great.
I'm gonna have a Zoom room soon.
All right, Donna, let's hear from you.
Oh my gosh, good. Sorry, my voice is a little slacky this week. We had a lot of cheering going on this weekend, so it was great. But I wanted to say congratulations to everyone on here. It's been a while. I saw Christina on here, Roxanne this morning. We all kind of like-mindedly decided that, hey, this Monday morning, we're going to start with intention. I mean, when you see Kenny at 4 a.m. and he's up at 4, what's your excuse? There's no excuse, right? So be here, be present.
Kenny sleeps until 7 o'clock.
Like I lose track. Okay. At the end of the day, I mean, like Zyra, she's my mentee, amazing, so proud of you. Jumping off of an airplane, I'm like, fuck, I think I'd pass out in the airplane and halfway up there. But I see, you know, when you see us seasoned agents, we've been through the ground. It's not rocket science. You know, it's being present. We have a community here where we all lean upon each other. We're sharing all these gems, right? Take it and run with it. Amanda was doing her Easter egg hunts, dropping off. I'm seeing people doing that. This is what we do. And if you see someone do it, sometimes it doesn't resonate with us, right? So do what resonates with you, because business will continue to grow that way. But you got to take that first step, and it's that mindset that everybody has, right? You've got that drunk monkey on your shoulder talking to you saying, you can't do this, you can't do that. But you know what? We can do it. It's your intention and your mindset, right? Everybody started there. Nobody handed us deals. And if you are making it out there, partner up with people. This is the thing that we have on our team that others don't. They still don't have that out there because they want to ask the other teammates. They'll be there cordially, but in the back of their mind, they're like, yo, dude, I'm not going to be sharing. But we don't have that culture mindset here at all. So I wanted to say, crush this week. This week is going to be freaking amazing. You guys all are doing fabulous. And 2 billion, dude, I think we may even surpass that if we all get into the contract soon. So make sure, have a great week. And that's all I have to share. I'm always here for you guys too. You know, like I said, I may not be, but you text me, I'm always there to answer your questions as well too. So
We love you, Donna. I appreciate your thoughts. Thank you for your contribution. Zaira, let's come back to you and then we'll close out.
And then one more thing. That was the third thing that I was missing. So I know last week on our coaching call, I said I had gotten one social media lead and I had a buyer's consultation. We're moving forward with that one. And I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but from the shit post when I was cleaning the shit, I got 2 other social media leads. And so post everything, post the shitty stuff, post the good stuff, post absolutely everything.
Even if you
So
don't get the stain out, it was just the effort of you actually trying to get it out, right?
I got it out though. I cleaned it.
Well, listen, you guys, we're a minute over time, but I just wanted to tell you guys, like literally reflect, take the time to look at your business. There's no excuses. I'm not going to go over and over and over again. You want success in this business, then go out and get it. It is there for everyone to have. There's enough business for everyone if you have the right strategy, the right skill. But if you literally just show up and just try, I promise you something will come good from this business. But don't get stuck in here. Just start doing things. You want to do an event, do an event. You want to hold an Easter egg, hold an, like stop thinking about everything and just do. And I promise you great things will come. You guys, I'm here for a true line of support for you guys. I'm grateful, filled with tremendous levels of gratitude. My man, 17 years old, that is here. Man, this, I promise you, done correctly, can change your life. Hashtag fast use, hashtag changing lives. So Ernesto, thank you for being a big brother, not only to him, but to all the agent population. Thank you guys for everything you contribute. Peace and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Let's go out and own our week.